Mr. Drury.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Point of personal privilege.
Proceed, sir.
I want to address the elephant in the room. I'm sure we all saw the news yesterday, the horrible news yesterday of more sexual harassment allegations that have tainted this august body. And we need to look at what is going on and what is the common thread going on between the allegations that roiled this House of Representatives back in September, back in October, and now again in February. And the fact is, we can no longer say, oh, that's just Uncle Mike, that's how he is. We need to stand up as a General Assembly and say, we are better than this. We are not going to tolerate this. It is not enough just to say hashtag #MeToo. It's not enough just to say we have a task force. We need to stand up and we need to do what's right by the women in the state of Illinois. It is inappropriate for the highest official in the House of Representatives to condone the conduct that we have seen going on in the General Assembly. Now, we can pretend that he doesn't, but everyone on this side of the aisle knows that Speaker Madigan rules with an iron fist. It's his house, it's his rules. But somehow when it comes to people being assaulted, people being harassed, people being abused, we turn our heads and we pretend that maybe he didn't know it was going on. Maybe he didn't condone it. Maybe when it happened in his ward organization, maybe somehow he missed that too. We need to wake up, people. We need to wake up. It is time to call on Speaker Madigan to step down as the Speaker of the House because he is not worthy of that position. It is tarnishing the state of Illinois. It is tarnishing this august body. And if he is not going to step down on his own, I'm going to give everybody a path to make it happen. We don't need 60 Democrats to vote no. We don't need 60 Democrats to say, I've had enough. We just need to have 8 Democrats brave enough to say that we will not vote for any more legislation that he puts up there until he steps down, because then he will have 59 votes. So I call on my colleagues, and you know who you are, people who campaign every 2 years and say, oh, you're independent, you're going to stand up, and you're going to show your community that you are not with the Speaker on everything that he wants. Well, here is your chance, because publicly, he is the face of sexual harassment in the state of Illinois. So I call on Laura Fine. I call on Will Guzzardi. I call on Kelly Cassidy. I call on Ann Williams. I call on Katie Stewart. I call on Sam Yingling. I call on Deb Conroy and Sue Scherer. I call on Mike Halpin. And I call on John Carroll. Stand with me or stand with each other and discard me altogether, but stand together and make sure that we take power back in this House and that we elect a Speaker who is going to stand up for women in the state of Illinois. And when there are people being harassed, he's not going to turn his head. He's not going to have task force. He's going to take full responsibility for it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.